Uh, all these shows are always the same. There is always misrepresentation of all these factors, such as women, people of color, and also gender stereotypes. And it's all so boring, and it's the same group of people. All white people who are conventionally attractive, look the same, and barely any women. I wish there was something better than this to watch. I mean, look at poor Artemis is asleep, and so is Oreo. Hi, my name is Ashley, and this is my second Me in the Media. Granted, I am only a college student and I am not officially a TV producer, but I do think that we could do a lot more possibilities and more accomplishments with this upcoming TV shows. The TV show that I am pitching for you is called Going Through Life, and I hope you like it. Here's a small synopsis and a plot summary of it. Thank you. There are many shows that have had really bad representation of people of color, women, and gender stereotypes. For example, shows like The Big Bang Theory, a majority of the main cast are all white male characters in the STEM field, and only one female, Penny, was a waitress, and Raj was a stereotypical Indian American. And in another addition for that, Sheldon's girlfriend Amy, even though she was a neuroscientist, was portrayed as very weird and creepy. So, because of this, shows like The Big Bang Theory demonstrate a really bad portrayal of women, a representation of women, representation of people of color, and also representation of gender stereotypes. In addition to that, the show Friends, which was released during the 90s, all the main cast were all white people and conventionally attractive. In addition to that, all the female characters were given gender stereotypical female feminine jobs. For example, Monica was a chef, Phoebe was a masseuse, and Rachel, even though she ended up working as a CEO for a company, it was a fashion company rather than a business company. Another show with lack of representation is the show How I Met Your Mother. A majority of the characters were white males, and there was only two women. And also, in addition to that, Barney, one of the main characters, was known to be a womanizer and a playboy. And also, one of the main characters, Robin, was given a feminine job. Originally, she was a popular singer, and now she's known to be a news anchor. So, because of that, shows like these tend to show the misrepresentation of women, people of color, and gender stereotypes. Stereotypes are harmful, and the misrepresentation in the media matters because much of the audience want to see people that look like them, have the same jobs as them, or the same feelings and emotions as them. Young adults and teens are known to watch all these programs that I mentioned earlier, and many of them feel discouraged because many of the TV shows don't look like them, and if the rare chance that they do look like them, they're portrayed as the stereotypes, which could be deemed as offensive, sexist, or racist. According to DiversityIncorporated.com, more than 40% of Americans associate themselves as a non white, and more than half of the world's population are women. There was a study back in 2012 where they compared white little boys' self esteem with a black little girl's self esteem, and noticed that there was a downward trend in self esteem when they were watching TV for girls and an upward self esteem for boys. According to the New York Times, research conducted by San Diego State University shows that 24% of film protagonists were women, and it dropped down 5% in 2017. In addition to that, 16% of female characters who had lines to speak were black, 7% were Latina, and 2% were Asian descent. The TV show that I am producing to you is called Going Through Life, and it would be a comedic drama show set in Los Angeles. The show is about five 23 to 25-year-old roommates sharing an apartment and attending graduate schools while going through issues of being an adult, growing up from different backgrounds, and also setting their differences aside to share their culture, traditional values, and values. The three units of representation that's going to fix is the portrayal of women, people of color, and also the portrayal of gender-based roles. One of the main characters is a girl named Aaliyah, and she is a 24-year-old Mexican-American medical student who attends the UCLA Medical School. She's a first-generation student, and she's very spontaneous, studious, outgoing, loud, and hardworking. She was raised originally in East LA, but ended up moving to Beverly Hills during her early teen years due to her mom becoming a distinguished nurse and marrying a doctor. She's also the eldest of four siblings and is very overprotective of them. She is portrayed by Diane Guerrero, and also she is known to work part-time at a sushi restaurant, and also is known to be the opposite of punctual. Camden is one of Aaliyah's roommates who she met in college. He is from San Jose and also a medical student at UCLA. He is Indian American and has 2 older brothers and also a dog named Simba. He's really shy about new people but is very open once you get to know him, and also he's really hilarious and the funniest out of all of us. He wants to study to become an anesthesiologist, and he's known to smoke weed at times but tries to hide it. He also has a girlfriend named Tony, but his parents don't know about her yet. He would be portrayed by Mina Masood. Another one of the roommates is Kayla, and she's a Hawaiian Chinese Japanese student who goes to Cal State Long Beach and is a grad student pursuing her degree in physical therapy. She also has an internship at Dodger Stadium as a physical therapist assistant, and she's also the so-called mom of the group. She's also very funny and quick-witted for a good comeback, and also she likes to drink a lot. She has a cat named Apola, and she's from Oahu and known to be a good driver most of the time. She is portrayed by Janelle Parrish. Last roommate is Amari, and she is half Australian and half Filipino. She's a law student at USC, and she is very sweet, ambitious, open-minded, and is also really ready to fight for a battle. She also likes to go to any rally in downtown, and she's from the Inland Empire. She also has 2 moms and shares a kitten, Apola, with Kayla. The first episode is called 4 Kid Adults and a Little Kitten, and it's about Aaliyah and Amari catching up for coffee and picking up Kayla and Camden from the airport. They're getting ready to go back to school, and at the same time, Aaliyah is talking to Camden because her ex just broke up with her, and she thought they were going to propose, but it ended up not working out, so they end up drinking together and decide to burn his t-shirt. And then meanwhile, Amari and Kayla decide to go get street tacos, and by accident stumble into a baby kid in the garage, and they decide to adopt her, naming her Apola. At the same time, Amari is looking for a new job, and Aaliyah tells her about the sushi restaurant that she's working at, and they are now coworkers. The second episode will be called Love is in the Air, and it's about Camden and Tony trying to meet his parents for their 2-year anniversary. However, Camden is very nervous because his parents would not approve of his girlfriend because she's Latina and he's Indian. So he's very scared at first and tries to delay everything he can, but in the end, ends up introducing them, and they are proud of him. At the same time, Amari and Axel are talking about getting married, and Amari's really scared, so she decides to talk to Axel and tell him to wait till a little bit later when they're actually ready, not right now. Maybe your clumped up cells, and it's a more mature situation. After Camden and Aaliyah are taking lesson rounds at the teaching hospital, Aaliyah learns that she got pregnant by her ex-boyfriend, and because of this, she breaks down and then realizes that if she were to have an abortion, her mom would disown her. So she talks to her brother, and her brother picks a fight with her ex, and her decide to have the abortion and talk it out, and they decide to stay in touch and become friends again. Episode 4 would be called Therapy, Sushi, and a Scare, and it is revealed that Aaliyah's therapy session has had her face physical abuse and domestic abuse as a kid, and at the same time we see how Aaliyah's mom left from being a household mom into being a registered nurse and one of the most famous ones in LA. At the same time, Kayla has a bit of a cancer scare, but it turns out that she just needs her tonsils to be removed, and she celebrates, and everyone at her job celebrates for her by throwing her a surprise party at the Dodger Stadium. And at the same time, Amari and Aaliyah have a fight at the sushi restaurant and have an I Love Lucy moment with the sushi all over themselves. The 5th episode would be called Tag Team Momming, and it's about Aaliyah's mom and stepdad's anniversary coming up, so they're going to Aruba and need someone to watch Aaliyah's younger siblings. Aaliyah has a brother named Jeff who is 17, Kaylee who is 11, Hannah who's 8, and Annie who's 4. Aaliyah's parents leave the kids at her apartment, and Amari, who is an only child, is excited to babysit little Annie. Camden takes Kaylee to Santa Monica Pier with Jeff and Kayla. Brian, Aaliyah's ex-boyfriend, comes with the cleaning and cooking, but Hannah has a fever, so they have to stay behind. Because of that, Brian talks to her with Hannah, and he reveals to her when Aaliyah was gone that he still has feelings for her. On the way back, Camden, Jeff, and Kayla accidentally lost Kaylee, and also by this time, Amari realizes that it's difficult being an older sister, and it's really grateful that she's an only child. At the same time, Aaliyah has tried to make enchiladas and attempted to make spam asubis and ube tarts, but ended up almost causing a small fire. All in all, it could be said that the show Going Through Life is a better representation of women, people of color, and also gender stereotypes.